Hi, and welcome to On the Move, a show highlighting what's going on in your community. I'm Jessica Houston, your host. In this episode, learn how you can save money and conserve with water-wise gardening. Find out how you can provide input on the next phases of the Glendale Narrows Riverwalk. See how the Rotary Club is raising awareness about some important public safety issues. Check out the grand opening of the Cypress Senior Living project. And learn about a fun family event to help support the Glendale Police Canine Unit. In response to the ongoing drought in California, the state has issued an emergency regulation requiring all water agencies and their customers to increase water conservation. Starting August 1st, Phase 2 of Glendale's mandatory water conservation ordinance went into effect, limiting outside watering to 3 days a week, on Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday for 10 minutes at each watering station. The city appreciates the efforts that our residents have made to conserve water and to continue to encourage diligent water use. Information on the drought, conservation tips, and incentive programs can be found at GlendaleWaterandPower.com. Since most Californians use more than 50% of their monthly water for outdoor use, one of the best ways to reduce water consumption is by changing to California-friendly, drought-tolerant landscaping. GWP offers an excellent online resource of information and examples at GlendaleWaterWiseGardening.com. This site features garden photo tours, information of different types of plants, and extensive information on designing, installing, and maintaining a water-wise garden. And as you find plants that you like, you can add them to a list, which can be printed out and taken to a nursery. A good example of drought-tolerant landscaping can be found at the recently completed Maryland Avenue Park. Here is project manager Peter Verheilig to tell you more.
Drought-tolerant landscaping means plants that can survive and actually thrive in our Mediterranean climate here. There are many plants that we are used to planting, like tropical plants, that need a lot of water and actually don't do well with the high heat we have in the summer and the cold winters that we can have. Well, right now we're in Maryland Avenue Park. This is the City of Glendale's newest park. It is important for the city because it uses a lot of environmentally friendly strategies to lower its impact to the rest of the environment. It uses drought-tolerant landscaping, permeable surfaces so the rainwater soaks back into the ground, mulch to keep the ground from drying out, and there's a lot of recycled material used throughout the site as well.
Lisa Hartke is one of many Glendale residents who have already adopted drought-tolerant landscape.
In a particular summer, it was very hot, and I just was thinking about how much water it would take to keep it green. So then I decided that it would be a good idea to replace it with a drought-tolerant landscape. It's just an enjoyable facet to have. It's much more interesting than a lawn.
Well, a lot of people have a misconception that drought-tolerant landscaping or xeriscaping comprises only of using cactus, which isn't true. There are drought-tolerant plants that come from Mediterranean regions throughout the world. And all these plants are adapted to the same climate that we have. And so there's a wide variety of plants that we can use without sacrificing color and interest in our gardens.
And it's also bird and bee friendly. Butterflies, hummingbirds love the bottle brush and all the Australian plants. I just enjoy watching them visit.
This plant here is Cleveland sage, and as you can see, it's blooming right now in August. It started blooming back in probably April. It's one of the plants that blooms all summer long. Here in our residential landscapes, we can still water them during the summer, and they'll look pretty good. This olive is a great example of how drought-tolerant landscapes don't have to be hot and dry. But when this olive is full grown, it'll probably be around 30 feet wide and just as high. and it'll provide a great deal of shade for this park. You can imagine a beautiful picnic table underneath here, having lunch with your family. There are many, many drought-tolerant trees that will provide lots of shade for your yard. This is a forest pansy redbud tree. It's a variety that was derived from the native redbud tree. And this one is special because when the leaves first come out, they come out a deep, dark purple. They mature to a green like this. In the fall, these leaves will turn bright, clear yellow and bring a lot of color to your yard.
It's pretty much maintenance-free. You don't have to mow it, and it pretty much takes care of itself. We have had people stop by the garden and ask about it.
I myself have removed about half of my front lawn, and it's actually encouraged my neighbors. They come over and it's almost like they're shopping. They look at the plants I've chosen, and before I know it, I see those plants springing up in my neighbor's yards. So you can do a little piece at a time, and with a little planning, you can have your whole yard become drought tolerant.
To learn more about water conservation tips, turf replacement incentives, and water-wise gardening, visit GlendaleWaterandPower.com. The City of Glendale is in the process of planning some exciting additions to the Glendale Narrows Riverwalk, and we need your input. Here is Public Works Engineer Kevin Carter to tell you more.
Hi, my name is Kevin Carter, and I work for the City of Glendale Public Works Engineering Department. We're reaching out to you today to ask for you to help us plan the completion of the Glendale Narrows Riverwalk. Please join us at any of the 3 upcoming community workshops. The Glendale Narrows Riverwalk runs along the north bank of the Los Angeles River, opposite Griffith Park. From Betty Davis Park at Riverside Drive, east past DreamWorks Studio at the intersection of Flower and Fairmont, then south to the 134 freeway. When complete, the Riverwalk will provide approximately 1 mile of trail for bicyclists and pedestrians that will include parks for resting and viewing the Los Angeles River, as well as an equestrian facility, interpretive signage, public art, and potentially 2 bridges connecting Riverwalk to Griffith Park and North Atwater. With Phase 1 completed, the majority of the trail is open to the public. Phase 2 includes covering an existing flood control culvert at Flower Street to connect the existing segments of the trail and constructing 2 new parks. One park is Flower Plaza, adjacent to the intersection of Flower Street and Fairmont Avenue, near DreamWorks. That's about the halfway point of the trail. And the other park is Confluence Park, where the Verdugo Wash and Los Angeles River merge together at the 134 freeway. Phase 3 includes planning the locations and developing concepts for 2 new bridges. One bridge across the Los Angeles River to Griffith Park, and the other bridge across the Verdugo Wash to Atwater Village. Alternative locations for the bridges will be presented at the workshops in order to gain consensus for a final location. This is where we need your help. We want your input on the style of bridge and the benefits different locations would provide. This is a unique opportunity to shape a great recreational resource in our community. We hope you'll join us at our upcoming community workshops. For more information on the Glendale Narrows Riverwalk or the upcoming workshops, please visit the city's website, click on Public Works, and then Upcoming Projects, or call 818-548-3945. Thank you.
The City of Glendale is consistently rated one of the safest cities in the country. This achievement is in no small part due to the partnerships formed with community groups, businesses, and homeowners associations, and their efforts to educate residents about the safety challenges we all face. In August, the Glendale Sunrise Rotary Club held the month-long Banners on Brand campaign to raise awareness of 2 important issues.
Today's an exciting day. It kicks off a 4-week educational process. We're going to be educating people about the dangers of leaving children unattended in and around vehicles. That's called Not Even for a Minute. And also Watch the Road, that addresses the concerns we have about people texting while driving, pedestrians, cyclists. It's a busy, busy area.
The Not Even for a Minute piece is just so important to the community. And if you could just picture in your mind, you're in a rush today, you have to get something, but you have your son or daughter or niece or nephew with you, and it's only going to take you 10 minutes to run inside the store, pick it up, and come back out. But I'd like you to think about this. If it's a 90-degree day, in as little as 10 minutes, the temperature inside that vehicle can rise as many as 20 degrees, which turns that 90-degree outside temperature into 110-degree temperature inside the car. Not very many people can last very long, especially a child whose bodies function a little differently. Adults are not used to such rapid climate change, and it can harm them. But if you see that, and you see someone inside a vehicle, what I'll encourage you to do is use your local first responders and call 911 and have them come and help that child, help that pet, help that person who's in need get to a safe environment.
It's absolutely no secret that this community in Glendale has been struggling with the problem of trying to find some solutions to reduce the number of injury and fatal accidents in this community. One of the major challenges we've had over the last several years has been an increase in pedestrian fatalities. The city has launched an all-out campaign to find a way to make a change in the behaviors of drivers, pedestrians, and bicyclists. This partnership with the Sunrise Rotary is exactly what we are looking for in order to get the word out and to remind people that these type of tragedies are absolutely avoidable. We can put an end to these type of fatalities and injuries if we will all just work together to not be distracted, to watch the road when we're driving, as a pedestrian, even when crossing legally, look to make sure that drivers see you, make eye contact.
I'm not only here as the mayor of the city of Glendale, but also as a Rotarian. And what a great episode of cooperation between Rotary Club and the city of Glendale in making sure that our city is ever more so safe for our residents. We jointly have to do everything to make sure that there's enough education out there about the dangers inherent in driving fast and driving carelessly, texting while driving. And I think we can reach great results. And this is an integral component of the city's efforts to diminish traffic-related accidents.
The 53 members of our club came together to make this possible, along with the over 50 sponsors who financed the project. We'd like to pay each sponsor is very important to us, but we'd like to make special mention of Glendale Adventist Medical Center, which was our lead sponsor and diamond level, having provided the funding for over 20 banners.
A lot of us in our individual lives feel overwhelmed. Gee whiz, I'm only one person, what can I do? Well, to be honest, you can join a Rotary Club. That would be a great way to start, because when you band together, you've got some leverage. But this project is also a wonderful strategic partnership. Dave mentioned we have over 50 people, different companies and people sponsoring the banners. Well, way back when, in 2001, 2002, the Los Angeles County Medical Alliance partnered with us to create the original program. One of our members, Marilyn Gannell, read a newspaper article on the East Coast that talked about people being left in cars. And it was her initial beginnings that this would be a great project. So just remember that you can make a difference. One person can make a difference, and we'd like you to feel free to share this information on Facebook, Twitter, other social media, because what we want to do is educate the public that we all can use friendly reminders.
For more information on this safety campaign, visit GlendaleSunriseRotary.org or bannersonbrand.com. For information on driven to distraction and driver and pedestrian safety, please visit d2dglendale.com. The City of Glendale and its partners recently held the grand opening ceremony for Cypress Senior Living, a completely rehabilitated apartment project offering 17 units of safe, quality, affordable housing for seniors and veterans. Let's take a look.
It's truly a wonderful day. We do this in Glendale. We use public funds. We cooperate with the federal government, state authorities, with private entities, and we do great things for our residents. And this project is a testimony to how Glendale operates and how it takes care of its seniors and how it takes care of its veterans. And that's what's very special about this particular building. Not only is it a beautiful, historic, red brick, unique building that you won't find too many of in this city and in Southern California in general, I do want to mention also that we have the Veterans Village, another project that gives preference to our veterans in the works. That'll take a little more time to complete, but again, this is an indication of how serious we take our seniors, and especially our veteran seniors and their needs, and how committed we are.
Now, as you know, this is not a new construction. Most of our previous housing projects for low income were new constructions. As the funds got tighter, the Housing Authority decided to look at the feasibility of renovating existing units. And if you take a tour, you'll see that the interiors are just fantastic. And there's a community garden, and there's a laundry room, and a computer room, and great facilities for the residents here. There are 17 rentable units here. And more importantly for us is that we're able to preserve and reserve 6 of these units for veterans. It is a win-win for the city, for the low-income residents, and for the veterans.
And we want to thank the veterans for their service to the country and for being great residents. The community here has a preference for veterans, so we have several veterans that have already moved in. And I think on behalf of everybody that's here, we thank you guys for all of your service to the country.
Where some cities in the area are talking about doing housing and help, and some have a plan 2 years, 3 years out. Some cities, and I won't mention, don't talk about it at all. Glendale is proving that they're doing it every day. The Veterans Campus will be opening up in a couple years. So my tagline, if I were to use one today, would be, the Jewel City also has a heart. It's a wonderful community, and I'm very happy to be living here, and thank you.
When Eric contacted me through Terry Deaver's recommendation, I was very thrilled, and I have to say a bit taken back, because not often do you see in a project like this developers coming and saying, we could get off-the-shelf artwork from anywhere, but we really want to curate it with local artists and have it mean something.
But if you look around and we'll tour this space, is this community piece is kind of seamless throughout, as well as the ecological impression of this project. The back garden is about food production and bringing people together. So it's growing herbs and citrus and any kind of plants that people want to grow. And so those were designed for you residents, that will be hopefully your hub, where you have important conversations and share meals together and grow the ingredients for those meals. And then of course the front yard, which is all about kind of the sensible plant palette for this climate, which is native plants, right? So not much water, but yet full of beauty and habitats.
I really opened the palette of this wall to become more like a composition that everyone could have their input. And so the backdrop of Glendale and the mountain ridge, I wanted to carry that over, and then a live oak tree representing the indigenous trees of this area. And then the plane and the sign for the veterans, just honoring this community and their service. I've gotten to know a few of the veterans that live in this building so far, and they're amazing people, and so thank you again, both of you.
We really appreciate it. Our sincere gratitude to everybody that was involved. There were dozens of people that were involved in the process, and we love how the project came out. We think that the residents are going to be happy here, and we created a beautiful community.
The men and women of the Glendale Police Department are all highly trained and dedicated law enforcement professionals. But when it comes to literally sniffing out the bad guys, the Glendale Canine Unit gets the call. Here is Canine Handler, Officer Maribel Feely, to tell you a little about the team and how you can help support them at a fun event coming up in October.
Hi, my name is Officer Feely, and this is my new partner, Jaeger. He is just under 2 years old, male German Shepherd, came from Germany. One of the things he's learned is how to hunt for bad guys. We have 3 canines all together. One of them is also trained in cross-trained in explosives. Just to give you a little bit of background on our unit began in 2005 when our department did not have canines and we saw a need for it. In 2005, we were able to fund 4 dogs through the help of all donations, to which to this day, this unit remains donation-based only. And all the donations are sent to the Glendale Police Foundation, which is a nonprofit organization. Because our unit is donation-based only, we hold a big annual fundraiser called Canines in the Park, which this year is October 11th from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. at Verdugo Park. It's a great event that's dog-friendly, so you could bring your dogs. They have low-cost pet vaccinations if they need their vaccinations. You could bring your kids also for a great day at the park. A lot of fun-filled events for the kids to play and enjoy. Don't forget to bring your pet in a costume and you might win a great prize. We also have a radar section where you can bring your dog in and we can clock their speed. Send them down the chute and see how fast they run. And we have live police canine demonstrations, so you get to see my canine as well as a lot of other canines showing what they can do out in the field. So come join us at Verdugo Park for Canines in the Park, October 11th, 11 a.m. to 4 p.m.
That's it for this episode of On the Move. Join us next month as we continue to explore the interesting things happening in the city of Glendale. For the latest updates, follow us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube at myGlendale. You can also stay informed by signing up for our free monthly electronic newsletter, City Connections. Sign up on the city's website. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next month.